Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pimps and sips, welcome back to the Mac Life, the #1 podcast here in the world. We're back for episode 147. If you're new to the channel, we go over absolutely everything to do with growing your brand online, monetizing that brand, OnlyFans marketing for creators, and OnlyFans management. How to manage ladies' OnlyFans accounts and make serious amounts of money. Now, I do these in podcast style format because we're not just here on YouTube. You could be watching this on Spotify, you could be watching this on Google Podcasts, or what I've currently been working on, you may be watching this on Rumble. You may be watching this on the blog on the Mac Life website. You could be anywhere watching this video. So I do these videos in a format where essentially me and you get a little bonding time at the start. We go over some updates, and then after that, we get into the juice. And today we're going to be looking at why you should start an OnlyFans account. What are the pros? What are the cons of starting an OnlyFans account? Do I think it's worth it? We're going to get into that at the end. And let me give you some incentivization. I work with 500 plus creators and managers, so I have the broadest spectrum of data to deal with. We have 7-figure creators, people earning millions a year on OnlyFans. And I imagine if that's your goal, to make millions of dollars a year through OnlyFans, okay, this will give you a pretty good indicator on whether they're happy or not, the things they've done right, things they've done wrong, I drop the pen every time, but I caught him today, whether to get there quicker, how to get there quicker. So stick around. Make sure you hit subscribe as well, because I drop 3 to 4 videos every single day here on YouTube. Today I have to jet out and get my hair cut. I've got some things to do, so after this podcast, I won't be filming the reaction videos and that. But once I get back, then I'll do it. And everyone loved the OnlyFans training yesterday. I went through a lot of different key frameworks for business. So those are inside of the business training playlist. And today I'll be doing that for e-commerce. We're going to be looking at how to find a product and quantify a product, what metrics you should look for, the scalability of a product, how to quantify it in the market and see if the market actually gives a fuck about it. We're going to go through all of that. So that'll be the one I filmed today, and it will be released probably, I don't know, maybe 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, AEST. Okay, so let's get into it. We already went through update 1. I'm going to get a haircut after this, hence why I'm going to be taking a little bit longer to get the videos done today, but they will be done because this is the Mac show. And I'm starting to feel good now. If you don't know, I had a staph infection that I copped that was nasty in Indonesia. And so I've still got 2 to 3 more days of antibiotics, and I've been on antibiotics for like 3.5 weeks. So I've been suffering, I haven't had any problems, but I've just been my mood, my attention, my thingy, it's all diminished because of the stomach biome that's been destroyed. But, give it these last few days, and then we're back to good. And that's why this little pimple's populated on my head, as you can see, because normally the Mac Life stomach would be prepared down there bashing any sort of pimple that tried to make its way to my head. But the stomach's been compromised. It's been killed by the antibiotics, hence the pimple. So, IG, everyone wants to know about the IG update. Now, there's been, we've worked on this for nearly an entire year, and there's been sad developments. I got scammed so many times to begin with, and then I paid a dude that I knew who I watched go through the process a large amount, and then we got right to the point of me building up, doing all the musician route, absolutely everything. And then on that day, I'm not kidding, on that day, some dude, Adam Quinn in the industry, done something with a robbery or something, who fucking knows, alleged robbery, I should say, something to do like that, or he got robbed, we don't know the actual details. And then what happened is, it's not available to do it anymore. So the dude's messaged and he's like, I don't know. I was like, bro, just whatever, sort me a refund. You've already fucked me around all this time. Now, the other dude replied and he's like, yeah, I can organize a refund, but only for the submission. Only for me not pressing the submit button, because we've already done the articles. We've already done all the shit. And I was like, bro, I didn't pay for fucking articles. Why would I want music articles written about myself? Why would I want at Spotify with random songs created for myself? I get your point, but if you can't deliver on that service, okay, just simply refund. It's a loss on your half. So, but like I said, I do not chase dead money. It is a waste of time. So I simply said, bro, let me know, full refund, because I'm sure when, I hit 100k subscribers, me simply saying I do not recommend this cunt will be very, very quadratic in nature. So everything goes off reputation. And like I said, there's no point wasting time chasing dead money where new money can be acquired. But at the same time, if you risk your reputation by not doing the correct thing, it will come back. So anyway, I submitted the Instagram myself today, which is what I really wanted to get to. Coffee is just so much better when someone else makes it for you. So I submitted the Instagram myself today. So we're waiting for that. And usually what happens is within the space of 10 minutes, I instantly get a notification. Your criteria wasn't met. Please retry in another 30 days. But today, I refreshed. Nothing. Refreshed, nothing. Check the email because it sends you an email and says you weren't eligible. Nothing. That means we've made it through to the team at least looking at it. So who knows? There's still a chance that the Mac Life gets that little blue tick. I need your collective love today. I need the collective prayers and hopes of everyone. Like, come on, Big Daddy Sauce. Come on, Big Papa Mac. You can do it. You can get that IG verification because it's taken a year and I always pull through at the end. So let's pray and let's hope. Otherwise, my only other method is I build up the YouTube big enough to the point where it can't be argued that I should be verified on Instagram. So that's it. Now, we don't have too many updates. We've really only got a few more, and then we're going to get into the OnlyFans stuff today. I just want you to be grateful for the day. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful that, like, your hands work. You know, just imagine something small, like losing a finger. And now you're down a finger. Like, how much more challenging would your life be? Imagine if your hands had fucking Parkinson's and everything was fucking shiggity shaky all the time. Imagine if you lost a leg, you couldn't walk. Like, see how my fears are all movement related? Imagine being paralyzed. Imagine all the stages. Imagine finding out you've just had something really wrong happen to you. Imagine like your family passed away. Just be grateful. Like you wake up, what else can you want? And then like this sounds so bad, but it's a world we live in, is that once you build up enough money, your days become infinitely better if you structure them correctly. If you're not doing what you enjoy, it doesn't matter how much money you have, you're not going to enjoy it. And this is going to lead into the next point in a second, but lifestyle design. I heard this first from Tim Ferriss in the 4-Hour Workweek, and he said, write down your dream lifestyle, what it would be, what your average day would look like. You're obviously going to have spontaneous things happen. Write down your average day, what would be the perfect day for you, and then try and live as many of those days as possible. And then budget it. Look at how much it's going to cost to do that day. And if you're living that day and making even $1 in excess of what you're spending, then you're infinitely growing. Infinitely. Because you're doing whatever you want and you're still growing. So that's how you should design your life. And lifestyle design is very, very important. Like while I'm here in Australia at the moment, I'm spending time with family. I'm waking up, having coffee, got brekkie sorted, go for a walk, film videos throughout the day, chip away at the business, spend time with the dogs, just living good. And it's a really, really big thing to design your lifestyle, because if you're not going to do it for a long time, don't do it in the short term. And the same thing for diet. You know, people, they have these crazy fad diets, these crazy extreme workouts. They do it for such a small time. Unless it's for a competition or something, you know, something shorthand, it's not sustainable. You're only going to do it a short term. You're going to burn out. It's what I talk about. It'd be so much better if people in business understood, pick something that you can chip away at over a long period of time and just be consistent with it, and continuously leverage the highest opportunity vehicle available and chip away at that. So I want to talk about, these two tie in together. It's to do with pricing. I mention pricing all the time, but I really want to talk about, you can't save your way to wealth. However, you can save your way to a safety net. Say you're in a job right now, you want to launch a business, you want to do this, you want to do that. You should save at least enough where you have some sort of safety net, where you're not worried week to week, where like a car bill. I've seen people like, you know, they might get a car, like something happens with their car or they need new wheels or whatever. And that bankrupts them back to nothing because they have, or less than nothing, and they have to borrow money because they spend way more than what they can afford. And when I tell people, they say, yeah, well, it's the cost of living. I say, then you can't afford to live like that. It's very simple. I say to people like, how much do you make a week? Oh, I make 700. Okay. Well, rent is 300. And I say, fuck, well, if rent is 300, that's half your paycheck. You can't afford to be paying that. And they say, well, what else can I do? And I say, well, that's on you to figure out. You have to figure out an alternative. And maybe you have to have a flatmate. And they say, I can't have a flatmate because of this, this, and this. Then you can't hope to get wealthy. It sucks. That's the cynical part about life. It's called Kantian fairness bias. We believe everything should be fair. Life isn't fair. You could be born with a fucking rare disease and then a lion eats you on top of that. Life is not fair. That's a simple fact. we have to be emotionless, and we have to be meticulous with our choices. We have to make the best move that's available. It's not always going to be a great move that's available to us, but we have to make the best move. This is going to tie into this next point very, very nicely. But we have to make the best move that is available to us instead of being emotional about it. You can't save your way to wealth. Save a safety net. You need to be able to save up a safety net, but you cannot save your way to wealth. So what do? You need to build a business to the point where it far exceeds your lifestyle. And then it far exceeds, and then you can slowly start to up your lifestyle and up your living. Most people get the smallest increment of increase of money, and they massively increase their lifestyle, and then they're just living the exact same stressful life. And I really want to talk, because this leads into the next point very, very well, which is stress influence bias. And it's that the majority of people, you have to understand, we have this thing called stress influence bias. It's a cognitive bias in our brain. When our brain is under stress, it wants to make decisions fast, and it wants to get them out of the way because we associate stress with that. So it's done, it's gone, it's finished. And with that, we can remove the stress. Because you have to understand, stress is physiological, okay? It's essentially our sympathetic system going into hyperdrive. We go from a parasympathetic state, which is where we're relaxed, to a sympathetic state where we're pumping. So essentially what you want to do is, your brain is saying, oh, we're under heaps of stress. We want to revert back. We need to get rid of this decision. So when I chat with people and like I genuinely chat, I say, so what's your plan? What are you working on? They say, oh, I'm chipping away at my job. I say, do you like it? No, I fucking hate it. No, boys. So what are you doing? Well, I'm trying to pay out a house. I bought a house. I look at it and I say, have you done the math on how long that's going to take you? Yeah, but just chip away. No, I don't know. Why haven't you done the basic math? How much do you make? I make 45k a year. How long is it going to take you to pay out that fucker? Then why aren't you leveraging by putting someone else in there and you go live back with your family, or you go live with a friend, or you go live here, or you flat share with 8 people, whatever it is? Why have you not done the simple math? Why? Because it's stressful. They feel it's the correct thing they should do because 99% of people are doing it, okay? And then anytime anyone questions them, because their work or whatever it is stressful enough, they want to push that aside very, very quickly. And here's a good quote, because we're going straight into the Onlyfans shit today. Here's a good quote to live by. This isn't an exact quote, but I'm going to try and word it very sexy for you, okay? If you do what 99% of other people do, you're going to get what 99% of other people get. It's very, very simple. You can't expect to become a millionaire, or expect to become rich, or expect to become this, or expect to become that, when everyone around you is not, and you're following the same methods as them. If you're following their same exact methods, and how can you expect to get a wildly different result? Nearly everyone that watches this channel, you want to be rich, you want to be successful, you want to make money, you want to better yourself, you want to, like for me, what this channel is about, more so than OnlyFans, it's about turning you all into the ultimate versions of yourself. Whether you're creators, whether you're managers, whether you're e-commerce, it doesn't matter what it is. You want to become the best version of yourself, the version of you that is very wealthy, the version of you that is very, has good, deep-rooted values, the version you can speak multiple languages, you've traveled to different countries, you've tried different cultures, and you've experienced all this crazy shit. And that's what I'm trying to gift you. That's what I'm trying to say, is that you can't expect to have that wildly crazy life if you're doing what 99% of other people do. It's not feasible. Because if you're doing the average, you're going to get the average. Everyone thinks they're better than average. But everyone thinks that. And that's why they're average. I look at myself each day like, you dirty dog, get to work. You are nothing. Get to fucking work. What do you mean you're thinking about taking a break? Get to fucking work. I put myself through it. And then what happens is you start to move levels to the point where people are going, oh, bro, that's incredible. You're doing this. That's incredible. And then you get, and this isn't the brag at all, but you get to the point where that you don't even think about that anymore, because you've just got such a high expectation of yourself that you're like, oh, I'm nothing. Get in the trenches. Get to fucking work. So with that being said, that was smaller updates today. And we're going to get into the reasons why you should be starting an OnlyFans. And I've cemented out 5 key reasons today, because there are hundreds of reasons why you should do OnlyFans, okay? But these are the 5 key reasons. But I'm going to give you, before that, one reason why you shouldn't do OnlyFans. And if you are in this, you shouldn't be doing OnlyFans at all, ever. You should be looking elsewhere. So before I do that, hit subscribe. What's the reason you shouldn't do OnlyFans? If you don't have a clear-cut exit plan or a clear-cut strategy, it's the exact same thing I've just talked about with people buying homes and people buying houses. If you don't have an exact exit strategy, you should not be participating in the OnlyFans industry. What do I mean with that? If you aren't knowing exactly where you're going, I want to make $1 million for a house. I want a cash flowing business that turns me over $20K a month so that I can support this lifestyle. I want this, and you know exactly what it is, you shouldn't be in it. And that becomes tied with, if you are already setting caps or boundaries on yourself, you shouldn't do it. If you don't want your mum to find out, if you don't want your family to find out, if you don't want your accountant to know, these aren't business faults. These are character trait faults. So essentially, and there's nothing wrong with them, but they're a fault that will stop you from earning a certain amount of money, and you have to understand that. If you aren't going to want to see OnlyFans pop up in your bank as on your bank statement saying, oh, OnlyFans because I have to speak with an accountant and that'd be so embarrassing, da-da-da-da-da. There's two simple solutions. Don't do OnlyFans because you're already putting a cap on yourself. You're already not going to even have money coming into your account. So you're going to try and figure out all different ways to do it and just fuck yourself infinitely, okay? Or become not embarrassed about it. Very, very simple. They're your options. So do not participate in this industry unless you're 100% comfortable and you've considered all the future roads and paths that could take you. Can your actions, maybe you're going to have kids one day and you're a creator. If you're going to finger yourself on camera and put it up in your OnlyFans vault, remember that's there forever. There may be a day where fucking little Billy comes up to your kid at school, fucking Joe, and he goes, hey Joe, here's your mum fingering herself. And everyone's like, ah. Possibility. You have to weigh up and you can't be emotional about these things. I think, the more I look at business over time, when you look at people who are a lot higher up, billionaires in the industry, they are methodically emotionalist. They are maniacally emotionalist, almost to a maniac level, where they are just making their decisions like an AI, strictly on data. And because that's what business requires. Business is an entity outside of itself. When you create something, you're creating something that is not you anymore. It is something that operates separate from you, and that requires certain inputs and certain things in order to grow, in order to sustain or decline it. It requires, and it has certain needs, and if they're not met, it will decline. So I don't know where the fuck I was going with this. You need to be comfortable with giving the business exactly what it needs, okay? Because if you're not, and you have certain character traits that are going to hold you back, I always say this, you'd be better off going and becoming a fucking certified scuba diver instructor and learning how to scale a business like that, or whatever the fuck it is that you're comfortable with. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the 5 things there. If you're not going to do that, you can click off now because you're not built for the OnlyFans industry. And there's nothing wrong with that at all, okay? You shouldn't feel bad about that if you've decided, hey, look, maybe I don't want, little Joe seeing a video of me fingering myself when I'm older, and that's something I'm not comfortable with ever someone seeing, and it's not worth the money, then don't do it. But if you think, that's a possibility, but I think the risk and the reward is pretty there. There's a lower chance that he'll see it. Plus, I'm going to fucking house him up like a king in a $1 million fucking house. Okay? Then take the risk. It's on to you. Now, let's look at the 5 main things. So the first thing is that you want to leverage the highest opportunity vehicle possible. And this is the number 1 reason you should do OnlyFans. In today's world, there is nothing that is a better opportunity to make money online. You can make money day one. Okay, you're selling the easiest fucking product in the world. You're charging an exuberant amount of money for this product. It's the highest opportunity vehicle. If you can't succeed in the OnlyFans industry as a creator or a manager, you are not cut out for business. You will not succeed, okay? Because the only reason you won't succeed is your expectations. You need to put in volume over time. But this is the best possible industry in order to make money. You should hum down at it, put all your focus in it. If you're 100% clear conscious with it, 100% stick with it for a long enough period of time and you're going to succeed. No other business or industry is going to be as easy to succeed in as this. Now, notice that I said as easy to succeed. I didn't say as simple. You still have to put in the work day to day. No, I'll reverse those. It's very simple what you must do to succeed. But it's not easy. You have to put in the work day and day and day and day and day and day and day again. And that's easy for someone like me, but you have to build that character trait. So for a lot of people, it's not easy to do it. But the business model itself is very, very simple. Okay, it's the simplest way to make money online. Okay, remember that. This is the highest opportunity vehicle possible. If you want to give yourself the best chance, you're putting yourself in the speedboat compared to the rowboat, you should be doing OnlyFans. You should be hitting subscribe. Number 2, it's Wi-Fi money. You're not penciled into a job. Susan's not telling you what to do each day. You haven't got Karen telling you to fucking make sure your desk is clean and fucking, oh, you didn't answer a phone call. Like I was fucking listening. My stepdad operates pretty high up within a business and he's micromanaging just multitudes of people. And anyway, he was sorting out problems on the phone yesterday. I heard him sorting out all different sort of problems. And I sat there thinking that all comes down to just one human error, okay, because of the fact that they were in close proximity and then they had an argument. This causes chain events, okay? And I looked at accumulatively how much fucking money was wasted. His full day was paid sorting that on top of other people's days completely wasted with money, okay? Wi-Fi money is so simple. You're sitting at home, in your fucking robe, smoking a stogie, or you're sitting at home, finger bashing yourself, making money online, doing whatever the fuck you want, traveling the world, eating fucking steak, whatever it is, whatever your dream day is, you get to decide. I could dress like this day. I could sit here in the nude and film the podcast. You know what? Tomorrow I might do that. I might sit naked and film the podcast. Tomorrow's appearance is going to be the naked podcast. It's going to be fucking cold in this room. Tomorrow's appearance is going to be a naked podcast. Because you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. And that's why Wi-Fi money is so good. And you don't have to worry about how you speak. You know, you can let your arrogance run wild. And people tell you the ego is bad. The ego is one of the healthiest ways to make money, okay? The ego will, and this isn't just me saying this, you know, assertiveness and assertiveness and non-agreeableness, okay, are two of the high, as Jordan Peterson says, are two of the highest traits when it comes to earning money, okay? If you have a higher score in these traits, and I know I've worded this very poorly, if you have higher characteristics of non-agreeableness and assertiveness, you are more likely to make more money. And that's the best part about the ego. It jumps into those. You know, people tell me how I should do things all the time. I tell them to get fucked. How could you speak to a potential customer like this? Because I don't want you. I don't need your money. I make exuberant amounts of money already. Simple. The ego is healthy for making money. I can tell you that. So, and then you can calm the ego down in other areas. Remember to always, this is what I've kind of learned, is that a lot of people make the ego out to be evil, because they lack their own control of their ego. They have not befriended the evil within them. I have delved deep into the body and made very good friends with my ego. Me and my ego, we make out. We are tight. But then I also respect the character trait of a learner. Whenever you must learn something, whenever it's time to learn, whenever someone's ahead of you, shut the fuck up. Listen. Praise them. Okay? Be thankful for their time. You need to be able to have that balance. Be humble when it comes to learning. And you know I hate the word humble. But be humbled when it comes to learning. Shut the fuck up. Listen. Apply. But then, okay, when you're in your domain, let your ego run wild. Okay? The yin and yang. Why would we have like people say life is about destroying the ego. Why would we even have an ego? Okay? Why would we have... You can't destroy the yin from the yang and expect to live a great life. Then the yang's just running like crazy. You must find that harmonious balance. Okay. This is an OnlyFans video, by the way. You're probably watching this like, this guy is fucking insane. Yes, I am. But I make a lot of money in the OnlyFans industry. So, humble. Maybe what I'm saying, even if you don't like me, has some merit and credibility. My God, I need YouTube bread. I've said this every day for the last week. We're getting it today. Okay. The third reason. This is probably, you know, the biggest. This is the biggest stress reliever in all of OnlyFans. You have no customer service. You're not dealing with emails. You're not tracking products. You're not messaging your supplier. What the fuck happened? Why hasn't this gone out? You're not messaging fucking Ozpost. Why hasn't something been delivered? You're not, oh, the product's default, the product's defective. Oh, actually 6 out of 10 are being like this. Now you got to fix something up the supply chain. You have no customer service. And if you're sitting there saying, yeah, well, you have to talk with these guys, that's not customer service. Okay, that isn't fucking customer service. That's sales acquisition. That's the chance to sell. No other business do you get to chat one-on-one with your customers like this. You're in a constant sales conversation where you have the chance to upsell people. And people are only there because they like you and like your shit. You have no window shop. People aren't there just simply to, your competitors aren't there buying on your account, fucking purchasing your subscription to just fucking waste your time or annoy you or hate on you, okay? You don't understand how privileged you are to be in a business where there is no customer service. And these are why it's so easy to succeed on OnlyFans. You're in the highest leveraged opportunity vehicle. You're making Wi-Fi money. You're working your own time, your own hours. You're not told you can only work 8 hours. You can clock 16-hour days if you want. You can clock 18-hour days if you want, okay? More caffeine, more motivation. You have no customer service. Okay, number 4. Now, this is one that I hammer all the time. You can charge a premium, and you should be charging a premium. You have complete control over your pricing. You can say this pussy worth $1,000 a picture if you want. And if someone's willing to pay for it, they will pay for it. And if you don't believe that that's the case, that people pay money, exuberant, the word exuberant is stuck in my vocabulary at the moment. If you don't believe people will pay exacerbative amounts of money, exacerbative, no, there's got to be let's go with monolithic. If you don't believe people will pay monolithic amounts of money for pictures of the human vagina, okay, you haven't tested it out. Because there is insane money. In fact, you know what? Instead of me just telling you this and talking it up, we've got one today. Where is it? Where's the one I saved today? Actually, I'll put it up on here. I'll put it up on the video. Bing! Okay, at about 27 minutes. I have to write down so I remember because this is my editing level of skills. So at 27-ish minutes. Here's one person inside the Discord today, okay? He's playing like the mummy role. This dude's fetish is obviously to have like a mummy figure and tell him what to do. So he obviously has like a fetish of, I don't know, being told what to do by women, okay? Dominated by women. And he's got this big mummy fetish. $100 tip just for the messages. Imagine paying $100 just for ether. It's not there. It's not real. It's a fugazi, as Matthew McConaughey would say. It's fugazi. It's not there, okay? $100. And if you think that's an anomaly, it's not, okay? Dudes will pay $100 a picture, $200 a picture, $300 a video, $500 a video, $1,000 a video, $1,000 for a call, $1,000 for panties. You can make insane amounts of money, and it's where 99% of creators actually go wrong, is they charge way too cheap. And, there are some really cool things to look at in terms of this. I can't explain them in this video. I should do a whole video on pricing breakdown, which is already inside the Hive Mind. I break it down very, very clearly and concisely. But you need to charge a premium, and that's the best part with OnlyFans. You get to charge a premium. If I have a sneaker store out in the middle of the town and I've got $500 on a pair of sneakers, just normal Nikes, people are going to tell me to get fucked. Why? Simply because of the fact that they know exactly what that product's worth. They can measure it against other stores. You get to decide how much your noo-noo's worth. Okay? You get to say it's $1,000. No one can judge you. There's no other pussies that's exactly the same in the world. You can charge as much as you humanly want. It is insane. Fuck. This business is too easy. Okay. And this is the final one. And this is one I probably haven't mentioned before. But it's the product never exhausts itself. It never becomes untrending. So as long as there are new dudes they're willing to pay every single day and you know a way to acquire these clients, the product never exhausts itself. And you can constantly take new pictures or new videos or whatever you want, but the product never exhausts. It's not like, with the drop shipping. So we had the pet bed store, you might sell pet beds and then they become viral for a certain amount of time. Then everyone starts selling pet beds, and then the big chains came up, they get into it, they start selling pet beds, and then all of a sudden the product's exhausted, okay? And you're like, fuck, now I've got to find something else to sell. That doesn't happen with OnlyFans. You get to avoid that altogether. You never have to worry about your product exhausting. And it doesn't matter how many more creators come on, okay? This is the thing is, people think, yeah, but the supply is increasing, the demand's going to go down. This is probably the one market where that does not apply. And trust me, I 100% believe in the supply-demand curve. But here is the crazy thing, is that there will always be a demand for sex. It is our most deep-rooted natural thing to reproduce. That is, that you can say we have our purpose or whatever, but from an anatomical standpoint or a physiological standpoint or biological, whichever one you want to choose, okay, our purpose on earth is to recreate and procreate. And you're selling that. You're selling a form of that. You're selling the deepest desire of man. Something that's not going away. Demand will always be there, no matter how much supply there is. Look how much supply there is in the world. There's billions of women. And people will pay $100 to see a picture of your nunu. Get out there, get on Onlyfans, make some money, hit subscribe. And if you want to save time, okay, and learn these steps step by step in little concise quick videos rather than these long format videos, the Hive Mind link that I have below has all the OnlyFans training. 3-minute actionable steps. Do this, charge that, A to Z, do this. Now here's the community of 500 others doing the same. Enjoy, connect, and see that it works. So hit subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'll see you all in the next one. Paka.